Hey, this is Daryl Henry with Insurance for Entrepreneurs. This video is what Frederick business owners can expect from insurance renewals in 2025. I'm going to hit 6 key highlights. If you want my full blog post, it's at my website, insuranceforontrepreneurs.net. All right, so the first thing is whether or not companies are going to view Frederick property as wind or hail prone. In the last year, there's this triangle between Texas, Florida, and Minnesota, where there were about 19 different convection storms where there was significant property damage. And insurance companies are really scaling back how much wind and hail coverage they're offering in that triangle. So Frederick is kind of on the outer band, but some companies are viewing Frederick as coastal because it's kind of close to the Chesapeake Bay and the ocean. And it's also because it's close to that triangle. So I'm going to be watching to see what companies are doing with wind and hail deductibles on properties in the upcoming year. The next thing I'm going to be looking for is I'm expecting companies to continue to review the property limits on buildings. There's some articles in the industry that say that as buildings are insured by as much as 30%. And this is because inflation year over year made it very difficult for insurance companies and customers to keep up with how much it actually costs to rebuild buildings. So I'll be expecting some customers and clients, as renewals are coming up, that there's significant jumps in property values on their policy, and this causes rate increases. The next thing I'm going to be expecting and continuing to watch is for business owners to invest in cybersecurity. While pricing's leveling off in the cyber insurance space, which is a good thing, it really jumped there for a little bit. I am expecting for companies to continue to want to see customers investing in multi-factor authentication, end-to-end encryption, and other cyber hygiene practices because the number of ransomware attacks continues to increase year over year. It is big business, small, we'll call cyber threat actors are basically buying the code that they need to do ransomware attacks from larger organizations, and AI is making it easier for them to just push it out to a large number of people. So I'll be looking for people to continue to invest in cybersecurity. I'm also going to be looking for businesses, and I'm looking for the insurance industry to really want to see auto safety with their clients. The expectation is that auto insurance is going to continue to get more expensive by about 10 to 15% for a number of reasons. Vehicles are more expensive to replace. Litigation trends are making it more expensive to settle lawsuits. And all of this is stuff that insurance companies end up having to pay for. And so I'm expecting underwriters to want to see that companies they're insuring have driver selection, driver training, and vehicle maintenance programs, and overall fleet safety to offset some of that risk. And that's what's going to help certain companies get lower rates. It's also going to be why some companies end up paying more. I'm also expecting companies with higher risk operations are going to have a hard time getting liability limits and getting umbrella limits. Overall, there is this trend in the insurance industry of there's bigger and bigger lawsuits being paid out. And what reinsurance companies are telling insurance companies is the only way to reduce the number of nuclear lawsuits is to offer less insurance. And so I've already seen this in some of the industries I work with regularly, childcare and substance use disorder programs and foster care placement, where companies are really scaling back on the professional liability and abuse and molestation coverage that they will offer. And it all has to do with some of these litigation trends. So I look to see that in a number of different industries. I think for construction and manufacturing, product and completed operations liability for organizations with higher risk operations is going to be a little bit harder to come by, and it's going to be harder to buy larger insurance limits. And lastly, if you have been profitable as a business on workers' compensation insurance, I'm expecting companies to be very competitive. This is a line of coverage that's been very profitable for the insurance industry over the last couple of years, and I'm expecting companies to lean in and really compete on that. It's been the trend last year and the year before, and I'm really thinking that in terms of how companies can manage their insurance renewals, that's one line of coverage where you should be able to negotiate lower rates if you have been a profitable account. All right, I hope that was helpful. If you want the full blog post, it's at my website at insuranceforentrepreneurs.net. If this was helpful, please hit like and subscribe. It helps other people like you find the content. And if you want to get my contact information, it's in my channel page. It's also contact information on my website. I'm Daryl Henry with Insurance for Entrepreneurs.